Hey guys, it's Matthew here once again, and today I've got pretty much a clip of just about every endgame boss possible with the Fizz, Chaos, Lightning, CI, Kinetic Blast, Occultist, Wander. As you can see here, I'm starting out with what is Val Temple with some bullshit mods. Basically got lucky there to not get completely one-shot, but the DPS is good enough to kill him quickly and move on. Likewise, just about every single map I show you here will be fairly hard mods and quite a good chance of dying, but thanks to our very strong combo of Frostwall, Kinetic Blast, and Pierce, we can pretty much get through it without too many issues in most scenarios. Now, it still will be sketchy. Sometimes things won't work according to plan, so Softcore is a pretty good playstyle for this, especially on really hard maps and really hard bosses, but you can by all means get by playing hardcore and just be a bit safer in your approach to what you do and how you do it. But as you can see, Frostwall still just gives you a very large barrier between you and the monsters, and then you get to just sit back and do your DPS quite a lot of the time without putting yourself in any real danger. And because we can kill them instantly, it's not too big a deal most of the time, regardless of how strong the boss is. As you can see though, it does get a bit graphically laggy. So even with my pretty good PC setup, when you attack very large packs of monsters, with all the Pierce and the Kinetic Blast explosions going off all at once, even I still kind of freeze up for a little second or so every now and again, depending on how big the pack is. And what I'm also demonstrating with this map here, it was a 36 strongbox map run, but the point here is it's a Fizz Reflect map. So throughout playing this character, I've learned I can do both types of Reflect on maps, probably not at the same time, but if I go with Fizz Reflect, then I just put a Fizz to Lightning into my setup instead of the crit strikes. If I go with an LA Reflect, I will take just both my heralds off, and the key part of leech from my build would then be from Atziri Flask. So I'm going to be most of the time running 2 Atziri Flasks in that situation, just so I can maintain my leech at all times. Because without that, all I have is Crown of Eyes, and it's just barely not enough to keep me up on large packs and consistently survive. While in my current setup I can pretty much take on any map and any map mod, there are some bosses and some map mods you'd rather probably not enter, and that mostly being Plaza right here. I ran a couple of plazas today with completely insane mods. Anything with 4 proj, for example, on Plaza is crazy. But this had like 4 proj, it had all kinds of other nasty shit. I can't even remember what it was. Um, Maybe a damage mod, temp chains. Temp chains was probably the worst one because I then have to run around in circles trying to avoid taking buttloads of damage, and the fact that your single target requires you to first put down a frost wall and then attack means temp chains can be a real bummer. But yeah, I just wouldn't recommend just doing those plaza bosses. In certain map mod situations. Just like a core Malachai, you probably wouldn't do if you had, minus max, or if it was twinned with some other things. There's certain Malachais, most builds, Low Life Blade Vortex excluded, would not run Malachai on. And Plaza Boss might be just another one of those bosses that should maybe be left alone with the wrong mods. As you can see here, Palace Dominus doesn't put up too much of a fight, even though I kinda messed up that kill there. We're enfeebled for this map, and it's a tier 14 conservatory, so Val, dude, gets exploded. Over here I'm taking on a double Duresso with enfeeble, fire damage, I don't remember what else, but it was 8 map mod, so it had a whole bunch of nasty shit. And in the end I probably could have done this deathless. I die just once there, but because I got a bit greedy on my damage. But I come back in here, and as you can see, as long as you just chuck some frost walls, sit fairly far back, you should be able to kill them quite easily without too many issues. One thing that has been saving me since the last video that I've since implemented is the cast with damage taken immortal call and increased duration setup. It helps quite a lot of the time, especially on Fizz Reflect, but also on little things like here where just every now and then you get triggered by a bunch of Fizz damage and become immune for a second. It lets you get out of stun, for example, as well as chances are running away. Now that was a comb with like 4 extra proj, so all those balls from the side almost snapped me down quite handily. And this is the boss I was talking about. That is probably something you should leave alone. This one has turbo boss on it, so it's got damage, cast speed, attack speed, and it's also got vulnerability. It's also got a damage mod, I think, on it. LA weakness, whatever. Essentially, and 4 extra proj. Yeah, I don't recommend trying this at home. I basically just died to it like 6 times because I could never stand still to do anything. Like I said, I need 2 frost walls, or just a frost wall cast to be able to then do any single target. And every time I would stop, she'd insta kill me. And the beam that you're supposed to line of sight, as you saw at the very start of this fight, just insta-killed me because of the vulnerability and the extra damage. It's just way too much damage. Now, I've got like 9k ES, and that's pretty good. For what I do, it's enough to take down everything else, but these damage mods are just crazy. If I had to jump on her, I might be able to have killed her, just by dumping a whole bunch of frost walls and killing her immediately, but this is something you'd never really attempt on hardcore, not with this type of character anyway. Maybe something more like a Fakener with good survivability stats and all that. In any case, I did end up taking down Atziri. Did one run, and this is it. So it was the first run. The trash went really nicely. There's no issues there. You could even tank some of the trash, as I ended up doing at some point, without dying. That's not a big deal. But it didn't go that well in the end for actual Atziri herself. I played like a total potato for this run, and just barely killed her with 0 portals left. You'll be able to see what an ideal sort of transition for Atziri looks like, but I did not have too many of those, as I ended up just fucking it up quite a lot. So for the Vals here, it was pretty comfortable, that's not an issue. I'm still not even using poison in my setup, which is something I kinda wanted to do, but never got around to really putting in, because I tried it instead of slower proj, and it just wasn't good enough. It has to be more of a 6th link, I think, on top of slower proj, but for that I would need 4 off colors. The trio here, also pretty straightforward. I just messed up and died by running into the black shit and kinda just dying. But you could see the Val Temple run, or boss kill, at the very start of the video, which has much harder damage mods and should be harder than Uber Trio anyway, which died with less issues. That said, this still went down and should go down in my opinion, probably deathless 4 out of every 5 runs. It's Atziri that becomes the problem. Now what you really have to do for Atziri is play very preemptively, as you can see here. You have to pick the ad that is opposite the mirror ad because of how much AoE I have on my kinetic blast. You have to drop as many frost as you can before they even come up, and then you shoot into it a lot. With those combos, you should kill it pretty much instantly. But sometimes you can fuck it up like that, and that means that you have a very hard run ahead of you from then onwards. Now I'll save you the multiple deaths that then happened, because it was just a complete noob fest, but essentially that's how it's supposed to go, and that's how it just didn't go enough times during the run. That's pretty much all I've got to show you as far as highlights for the past few days go. I do have a core Malachai run. I tried to roll it to be somewhat doable. I think it didn't have anything too bad, maybe endurance charges I think. But yeah, the character went really well. I'm still pretty happy with it. I was happy I played it. Occultist, it was very fun and successful. For a CI character, it's got a lot of underrated perks, I feel. Just for energy shield characters and stun resistance and energy shield recharge, all that, as well as the power charge on crits, just makes life so much easier. So I'll leave you with the core Malachai, or the entire core run. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed the character, and I'll see you guys next time. Pressure speed is so sad. Yeah, slow approach really does got it. I've gotten pretty used to it though at this point. Alright, what do we have in here? Malachai. Luckily, I am immune to all of his chaos bullshit, so he's a pretty easy fight. Pretty easy fight. Feels good countering Malachai for a change. No, you're not stealing my fucking portal. I paid 15C for this. You wanna try it, you pay your own 15C. It's actually pretty cheap. You know, 15 chaos for a tier 15 and a shot at the champ, Malachai. I've done it like 5 times now, just for builds to try him out on. Trying to save flasks for whatever the next fight is about to be. And it is potentially Chevron. Alright, I'm running around in circles until she does her thorns. I'm making the same mistake fucking twice. I'm getting super impatient. Alright, there it is. Now we gotta wait till this shit goes off. Now we dump all over her. Bitch. If you are allergic to attack speed, then obliteration works just fine, sure. And Dodri should be pretty joke status, I guess. Not from back there, she's not. Yeah, still pretty easy. Explain the wall, please. Go to my last video on YouTube, the one I uploaded yesterday. The last like few minutes of the video go over the frost wall. But the whole video basically explains the build for you. Alright, well, anyway, shit's about to hit the fan. Those were the joke bosses. Now we got a real boss. I may get rid of... yeah, I'll get rid of one Herald. I can have extra mana to cast with. And I really do want to try out poison. I'll start out like this. Okay, it's not bad, but still not as good as I would have liked. That's a bit better. pretty scared though. I just then ran out of Quicksilver Flask, which is my freeze flask, and he was winding up his tentacle on me, which is his freeze everything. I don't have any flasks right now, so I don't know how this next phase is going to go. Yeah. And also Frost Orb doesn't interact terribly well with these hearts and shit when you try and do DPS to them. And I fucked that up. Alright, I don't have anything to actually pop traps with. I really fucked up. Except for my face. I don't want to face tank traps. Are they? I feel like they're disappearing on their own right now. Which is something that did not used to happen. Because my Herald's hitting it, but it doesn't make it disappear. Kinda looks like when he's spawning new ones, he gets rid of the old. And that's definitely a change. Face tanking! No! Face tank was real and it did not pay off. That was a crit. No! I took too many traps, man. I took too many traps. I didn't see two there. I was gonna run through one, but yeah, I fucked up. And accidentally ran through two. That was another crit. God damn. God damn! Stop it, Malachai. I couldn't move. I was trapped by that zombie when I tried to run right. Alright. Crafting returns for our troubles. Yeah, I don't know, I might have to try poison out in another run. A pure poison kill.